This conference will now be recorded.
So today we will go with the database. So quickly let me open my AWS console. So RDS. So we are going to do about which is relational database service, right? So how to connect the front end to back end, which means we have to create a database in the back end, and we need to connect to the connect from the front end. So first of all, we need a server, and after that we need to take a database connection. So we need to create the database, and after that we will connect to the front end. So let me open quickly my account. So we will have some database engines we have. So in the RDS console we have some database engines. Let me show you that database consoles also, database engines. So quickly, so I need to be in region as North Virginia as it is. So I'm just going for services, and in that services we will have some no audio. Am I audible now? So hope I'm audible now.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's
Yes,
audible, sir.
thank you, ma'am. Yes, thank you. So database console. So this is RDS console. Previously we have worked on EC2 console, VPC console, and S3 console. So now we are moving with the RDS console, which is used to create a database, and we need to connect that database from front end. So which means, so we need to create a server, and from that server to the database. So front end connection from server EC2 service, and back end connection from RDS console. So we need to create a database now. So here you can create 40 databases, which means 40 instances you can create. So by using the RDS console. So now quickly go for databases here. Just click on databases in the left side pane. So you just click on right databases. So database dashboard will be appeared. So this is RDS dashboard, and from this one too you can create a database. So by defaultly we didn't have any databases right now. So we need to create a database, and after that we need to connect to the database. Just click on create database here. The AWS is updating their platform for each and every service. So if you see the view or listen to your feedback, so it's switch to original interface. This is the new one. So if you switch on the original interface, so you will be get back to the previous version, right? So this is the creation of database. So you will have database here. So standard create and easy create. So one is standard create and easy create. So what is standard create here? So you set all of the configuration options, including ones for availability, security, backups, and maintenance. So standard create and easy create means use recommended best practice configurations. Some configuration options can be changed after the database is created. So it's like a custom installation or default installation like that. So you will find anyone, you will select anyone. So I'm just going with the default one. And next one, database engine options. So you will have some database engine types here. So Amazon Aurora, MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server. So you can select any one of these MySQL options, right? Sorry, database engines. So if you are good at with Amazon Aurora, you can select, or if you are good at MySQL, you can select, or if you are good at with PostgreSQL, you can select PostgreSQL also. So anything you can work on. So RDS supports this type of database engines. So I'm just clicking on MySQL. Okay. So if you want to select PostgreSQL, you can select, or else if you want to select Amazon Aurora, you can select. No problem with that. So any engine you can select. So I'm just selected MySQL here, and next, so MySQL version. So let it as the default. So you will have some options of that MySQL engines. So let it as default. So if you want to customize anything, you can customize. Firstly, we are working on, so better to keep it as all the defaults. So later on, if you are so if you continuously work on the database, you can go with the customized settings also. So firstly, we will move with all the default things. And next, so templates. So templates is nothing but choose a template, sample template to meet your use case. So what is meant by use case here? So I want to deploy my application in some other platform, which means some other way. So by using some required condition, minimal requirements. So that thing you can select as template. So production, development or testing, or else pre-time. So use defaults for high availability and fast consistent performance in production. So if your database is required in a production department, you can select as a production department, or else it is only for development or testing, you can select development or testing, or else just pre-tier. So we are using pre-tier, and so you can select a pre-tier also. So based on the requirement and based on the recommendation, you can select any one of these templates: production, development, testing, or pre-tier, right? So if you select a production as template, so you will find the address. So address means requirements. So if you see, so here in the database instance side, so if you select a production there, so you will have 4 CPUs with 16 GB of RAM, right? So that is the production requirement. And if you select development or testing here, if you select the development or testing there, so you will have 4 CPUs, 16 GB of RAM is also the same. Okay, so based on the requirement you can select. So I'm just going for pre-time. So I means, so we are just going for all the to know what is going on and how to work on the database services using AWS services. So that's why we are selecting that one, pre-time. So you can select production or development or testing also. So no problem with that. You can select any one of them, right? So and next one, so pre-time. So next one, database instance identifier. So database one. So database one, so which is nothing but is instance identifier name. It's like a name for the your database instance, right? And next one, credential settings. So we need to give the username. So username for so for our database. Just give me a second. Right. So username. So you need to give the username here. So please, it's better to note down somewhere for the username and database instance identifier. So sometimes it won't be appeared when you create your database. So better to keep it as note down. So I'm just copying it as and noting in this one. So this is my instance identifier. And next, so master username. So my username is so it is admin. So I'm just letting as default. So if you want to change anything, you can select, you can give your names also. So but make sure that, so you need to remember the password and you need to remember the username for your database connection. So while the connection from the instance to the database, so we are going to use these details. So instance identifier, username and password we need to remember. So these are that thing we are so noting the things. So here the password, so I'm just giving the password as, so 1 to 8 numbers. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you can give any other passwords also, no problem. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And make sure that, so you need to remember the username as well as the master password. Okay, so after creation of database we are going to connect the instance so to the database. So at the time of connection we are going to require this username and master password, right? So we are going to use that details. And next, so database instance size here, so it is taken as, so previously I have shown you, so 1 CPU it is taken as, and 1 GB of RAM it is taking. So if you select production, it is taking 4 CPUs with 16 GB of RAM. So for development of production also it is taking as the same one, 4 GB 4 CPUs and 16 GB of RAM. So we are taking the free tier eligibility, so that is why it's taken as the default one. So 1 CPU with 1 GB of RAM, right? So and next, storage. So storage it is taking as allocated storage. It is a minimum and so it's a default one. So minimum is 20 GB and maximum is 16,384 GB of storage. So it is taken as, so basic minimum 20 GB it is taking as, and EC2 instance it is taking as 8 GB of RAM, right? So 8 GB of storage it is taking. And for the database, so as you know the database is more storage required, right? That's why it is taking as 20 GB of storage, right? And it is in general purpose SSD, so solid state drive. Okay, and auto scaling. So if you enable auto scaling would be fine, no problem. And if you didn't enable this one, so you can do that one also. So first of all let us so give all the defaults. Okay, and so availability zone, so we need to give the availability zone. So if you don't give the availability zone also, no problem. So let it as take as default. Okay, so multi-agent deployment is nothing but multi availability zone deployment. So if you enable this one, so it's not to be enabled, so which means so database is only one end, so which means only one operator can operate the entire database. So if you give the database permission to all others, so there is a more chance of hacking, right? So the availability and connectivity. So VPC is nothing but so virtual private cloud. So for the connection also we need to give the security. So first of all let us take the default one. So make sure that, so whenever you are trying to connect your database from the front end, you need to be in the same network. So which means, so if you select the default VPC here, you need to connect to the instance to the default VPC only, right? So this one default VPC, or else if you want to connect with customized VPC, so you can select customized VPC also. So as I'm not having any customized VPCs, I'm just going with the default VPC. So if you are having any customized VPCs, you can go with the customized VPC also, no problem. So but make sure that, so whenever you are trying to connect with EC2 instance to the database, so both the networks in, so both the EC2 instance and the database are in same network. So both the networks are in same network. So either so EC2 or else RDS. So both networks are in the same VPC, must and should be there. Okay. If you are selected default VPC here, you need to connect with the default instance also, right? And next one. So just click on additional connectivity and subnet group. So subnet group it is taken as default. So if you yeah, let it as the default and public accessible. So what should I select here? So yes or no? So what should I select here? Yes or no? So voice is breaking. Am I not audible?
Audible, sir.
Yes, audible.
I think client
Yes,
side
yes.
network.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the responses. So public accessible. So what should I select here? So either I can select yes or either I can select no. So what thing I need to select? Select no. No. So what in case if I select yes here? So see the name here. So publicly accessible. So you are creating database and it must be in no. So we need to give the permission as no. So if you select yes, you can resign
Other
your jobs
people
and you
also
can
can access.
sorry.
Other people can also access this particular instance.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. So if you select the S means you are giving the permission to all others. So which means so if you select this one, you can resign your jobs and you can quit from the company, quit from the organization, right? So public accessible is merchant should be in a no only, right? So if you select S means so Amazon EC2 instances and devices outside the VPC can connect to your database. So is that thing we required? No, nothing. So we have to create so we have to select option as no only. RDS will not assign a public IP to the database. So this thing we need. This thing we need required. So please select as no only. And VPC security group. So choose an existing group or create new. So let it as take default. Okay. So existing default only it is taken. Right, and availability zone also, so we are not going to select any zones, so let it as the take default. And the port number, so what is the port number here? So 3306. So if you are go with PostgreSQL or else MySQL Aurora, you will get the other port numbers. Okay, so by this port number also we will use, so we will see in the after creation of database, so we will use this port number also to connect for the instance, so to connect for the database. Okay, and next database authentication, so password authentication, password and IAM database authentication, and next one password and Kerberos authentication, so not available for this version. So password authentication is nothing but whenever you are trying to connect with the connect to the database, it's asked for a password. So we have created password in the previous sections. So we have created password right here. So here we have created password. So whenever you enable this option, so password authentication, so whenever you are trying to connect to the database, it will be asking for password. Okay, and next one, password and IAM database authentication. So if you think this only password is not secured for your application, you can go with IAM also. Okay, password and IAM authentication database, nothing but so you need to create a user and you need to give the multi-factor authentication like, right? So I'm just selecting the default one, so password authentication. And next, so these are not required. So database options, backup enabled, enhanced monitoring, maintenance, CloudWatch, delete, production disabled. So these are all not required. So these are the things we need to change. We need to give the permission. We need to give the details. So create the database as a standard create, and MySQL database we have created, and the version and free tier we have selected. So username we have given, and the password we also have given, and the size is taken as 1 CPU with 1 GB of RAM, and for the and with this database storage as 20 GB of storage, and connectivity default VPC I'm going to connect, and existing groups it is also taken with the port number 3306, right? So I'm just clicking on create database here. So it is creating, so creating database. So this is the refresh icon, so I'm just refreshing it. So database creation is takes a few minutes. So if you see the status here, so it is in currently in creating status. So after that, once it is creating, it will be in backing up status. So after that, your database instance has been successfully created. So let it takes us a few minutes to complete it. So meanwhile, what we will do is, so we need a server also. So for the connection from the front end to back end, so we need server also. So from the server only, we need to connect from the back end database. Okay. So for that, we have to create a server also. So if you are having any server, that would be fine. So I think I'm not having any servers. So let me check for the EC2 console. So if I don't have any servers, I need to create a server there. So most cases might be I don't have any servers with me. So it is creating. So once the creation is done, it should be in backing up status. So after that, our instance has been successfully created. Yes. So I don't have any instances with me. So I'm just creating a new server. Just a launch instance. So I'm just selecting Amazon Linux here, and I'm taking all the default things. Add storage, add tags. So I'm just taking a new tag here. DB server I'm taking. Security group, existing one. So launch. So I'm taking a new key pair. DB key I'm giving. Download key pair. Launch instances. View instances. Yes, so my server got launched now. So let me check the status here. So refresh it. It's creating. So we need to connect to the database now. So right. So from using the database IP server IP, so I'm just so first we need to convert this key, right? So I'm just going for puttygen. DB key open. Private key. Yes. DB key I have given. Save. So now using the IP address, so I'm just connecting for the instance. EC2-user. So here, so login as, so I'm just connected with the EC2 minus user. So it means I have launched my Amazon Linux instance. So for that I'm using EC2 minus user. So please note down these commands. So you need to modify these commands. So once it is successfully installed, you need to modify these commands. So first login as EC2 minus user, and next command is, so you need to connect with the sudo su hyphen and the sudo sudo, it's update. So first we need to give these comments. Sudo su hyphen, next m update. So we need to update the server. So it is updating my server. So after updating, so next you can give minstall mysql -y. So we need to give that command. So in order to get the connection, in order to get the connection establishment between server and database, we need to install the MySQL software in that in our particular server. Okay. So after that, so we need to connect the server with this command mysql -h endpoint space -p space -u username space -p. So we need to modify this command, right? So please note down this command. We need to modify this command afterwards. So mysql space -h. So h is nothing but host. So which is nothing but endpoint. So once the database is created, we need to copy the endpoint and we need to paste it here. And p is nothing but port number, and this is the port number for our database instance. And next, so -u is the username, and what is the username? So I have given admin, and password. So that is password. So it is asking for password when we execute this command. Okay, we need to modify this command after the creation of RDS. Okay, so it is my updated my command. So next command is install MySQL. So it is installed. So check for the version. So MySQL -- version. So if you give that one, so it will be shown as the version of the MySQL server. So MySQL -- so this is the version of the MySQL server. And next one, so we need to give this command. So MySQL -h endpoint -p username and password. So what is the endpoint here? So we need to change this as endpoint of your database. So let us check with the database now. So is it created? still creating. So when only it's got created, then only we will connect to the instance. So if you click on the database one here, so instance identifier, so you will get to know the details of your particular database. So what is the username and what is the instance identifier and what database endpoint name, so like that things. So it's still in creating status. So we'll find the details here. So endpoint, you won't get any endpoint. So why means it is having in creating status only. So once it is done creating, so you will get your endpoint and port number also. So availability zone, it is taken the VPC, default VPC and VPC security group. Subnets it is having. So let us wait for few more minutes so that it got completed. So might be I'm getting poor network, I think. So it's still in creating status. So let me create another database, but we will try that one. But still in a creating status, so it won't take this much time. Standard create MySQL I'm taking. So admin edit as default and password. So 1 to 8 I have given, and size. So free tire I'm taking. Public accessible. One. Database name. And create database. So check for this database. We will go with this one also. Now both are in a creating state only. So first instance is getting backed up. So we can connect this one. So we got endpoint here. Endpoint and this port number. So it is backing up. So we will wait a few more minutes. So it's my network problem. So that's why it's taking much time.
I have no audio.
Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, sir. Yes. So let it take as so backing up. It's still in backing up. So might be it's my network problem. So let's try with the connection. So it's created once we got the endpoint. So we can connect to the database. So let us check with the database connection. So we need to connect to the database. So by using this one. So here MySQL space -h. So H is nothing but host and endpoint. So we need to give the endpoint. So this is the endpoint here. So I'm just copying it and modifying this one. Okay. And next one -p and port number. So is the default one, and the username we need to change. So for the username, so we will find in the configuration here. So if you go with configuration, you will find the database admin name, sorry, username. So it is admin. I'm just copying it and I'm just modifying this command space -p. So now run this entire command. So we need to change the command as this one. So please make sure that all the spaces also. So MySQL space -h space, this one is a database endpoint name, and space -p space the port number. P is nothing but the port number, and -u username. So username is admin and space -p. P is the port number. Okay, and just to copy this entire command, just go for your putty. So my network connection lost. So I'm just restarting my session. EC2 minus user. Sudo st. So now paste this command here. So it's double time pasted. Admin -p. It is. So it will be asking for password. So which means why we have enabled the password authentication. So you need to give the password here. So we need to give the password there. So remember that whenever you enter the password, so you won't see that password there. So it should not be in dots mode also. So just enter the password. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So enter the password and hit enter. So it's not connecting. So why means, so we need to give the permission as for the database also. Okay, so just go for the database now. And go for the connectivity and security. We need to modify the inbound and outbound rules. Okay, just go for the connectivity and security, and in the VPC security groups, so we will find the security. So under the security tab, you will find the VPC security groups. Just click on the default security group. So or else I'm just taking in a new tab here. It's not connected. So I'm just taking in a new tab. It's not opening. Let me click on this one. So it will redirect it to the security groups of the console. So we need to modify the inbound rules. Just click on the inbound rules. Edit inbound rules. And you can give anywhere here. And just click on save rules. Now go for the putty again and execute the command again. So MySQL -h database -p -u admin -p. Enter and give the password 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes, it's got connected. So we need to change the permission. So then only the successfully connection of database has been completed. So I'm just going back to the database. So my database is database 1. So it is in available state now. So database 1. So when the connection has been successfully completed, so you have connected with the EC2 instance so to the backend database MySQL. So now how to check the particular database, whatever the database we have created. So for the first database, uh, I have not given the database name. So when you go with the configuration here, so if you give the database name, you will find the database name here. Okay, so first server, first database, I have not given the database name, and for the second database, I have given the database. Okay, so for the connection of the particular database, so if you want to go for the databases here, so it is successfully connected with the MySQL. Okay, so in the MySQL, whatever the databases it is having, so how to see means just you can give the show databases semicolon. It will gives you the databases, whatever the databases it is having under MySQL, it will be shown. Okay, so information schema, DB, MySQL, performance schema, system. Okay, so by using these databases, you can go with your work. Or else, if you want to create a database, you can create also. So when you created databases in while creation of database, so here the first database, I have not given the database name there. So for the second database, I have given the database name. So if I connect with the second database, I will get the database name here. So this is the first IP address. This is the first database. So how do you know the first database, second database means? By using the endpoint. So we have given a first and database is endpoint, and we are getting the default databases. So whatever the databases it is having, it will be shown. So it is not having any created databases. If you want to create database, you can create. So using the command as create database name and semicolon. I have given a spelling mistake. Create database APSSDC semicolon. So my database has been successfully created. So now check for that command again. Show databases. See, it's now there. So you can create the database here also, and you can create the database name. So while creation of database name also. So if you go with the second database, so let me go with the second database here. So database 2 I'm clicking on. So if you go with the configuration, see there. So you will find database name here. So while creation of the database name itself, you can give the database name in order to use the particular database. Or else after the creation of database, without giving the database name also, you can create the database name. You can create the database by using the command mode. Show databases. When you give the show databases, so all the databases will be shown. So for this one, so you have successfully connected the database and you have successfully created the database. So from this one too, you can use the commands. So what are the commands means? Creation of tables, inserting, deleting of rows. So all the things you can give. So CRUD operations also you can do. So create a database, data table, and insertion of data, deletion, updation, modification. So you can perform these operations. So might be you know that commands. Okay. So in this way we can connect to the database and we can so use the database to our front end application. Okay. So this is databases and database one. So for database name, you can go with this one. So you can perform the operations, these performations. So creation of table, how to create a table. So by using a create a table table name, and you can insert the values as, so insert into table name values and deletion of the table values and update the deletion values and modifications. You can do that next. Okay. So it's completed up to now. So any queries up to now? So regarding the database creation or else so instance connection. Can't we link the database using bash scripting without putty? So without putty, you can connect with MySQL Workbench also, sir. So you can connect, you can download the MySQL Workbench or SQL browser, SQL DB Lite it is having. So if you install that software, you can directly connect with the your MySQL. So any more queries? is the procedure same if we use the Amazon Aurora or PostgreSQL? Is the same one, sir. So the same process you can do with Aurora and PostgreSQL also. So any more queries from your end?
No, sir.
Yes. So thank you, sir. Can I show this creation and insert of and deletion of tables also? So or else you can practice on the things. So if you want me to show, so I will search for the comments and I will go with the creation, insertion and deletion operation also. Okay, so let me do that commands also. So I'm going with Google. So let us create one database table. So now we need to use this database. So we have created API SDC database and we need to use that database. For that, use. So my putty is inactive. So I'm just restarting my putty. EC2-user. Sudo su minus. So I need to give the command again. So this command I need to copy and paste it here. Enter. So give the password. So it's got successfully connected. Now click on the type show databases. Okay, and next we need to use the particular APSDC database. For that, command as use APSSDC. So database has got changed. So now we need to create the table. So what are the table means? Suppose if we take student table, so whatever the fields that is having, so students database table having a student ID, student name, and student branch, and student studying year. So like the tables we need to create. So for that, so we can create the database table. Create table name as student I'm giving, and SID, so it is integer. So versions takes different values. So some versions takes as integer, some versions takes as int. So we will check that considerations. So SID integer, and name varchar teen, and student branch is also varchar. So let us execute this one. Yes, it's created. So now how to check the particular database table details. Now how to check the database tables? Select star from APSSDC. Oh, doesn't exist. Select star from table name, right? Student. Empty set, which means so we just created a table. We didn't insert any values into particular student. So that's why it's giving as empty set. So now we need to insert the values to particular student values. Okay, now how to insert the values? Insert into student I need to give values, right? Insert into student values as ID I'm taking as 101, and name Ram, and branch CS. So let me execute this command. So it will execute. Yes, it's got executed. So now check for this command again. So select star from student. See, so SID is my column name, S name, student name, and branch. So 101 Ram and CS. So branch. So now you can do the this one as same one. So I'm just copying this one. ECE giving as a name, or not. That's it. And I'm taking one more branch. ECE triple I'm taking now. And 103 it is. Yes. So now select star from student. So this way you can create the table and you can insert the values, right? And if you want to do the multiple operations, so might be you know about CRUD operations, CRUD operations. So if you are going with data science or else migration into the data science, so you are using these CRUD operations. So CRUD operations is nothing but C means create, R means read, U means update, and D means delete. Right? So CRUD operations. So these are main important in the data science as well as so data mining also. So CRUD operations it will be called. Okay, so creation is done and insertion of values is done. So read is done. So read is nothing but select star from the particular table name and update delete. So you can delete and you can update the values also. Okay, so now I want to update the values. So as this 101 to 201. So how to update? So update. So I forgot this query. So I will go with the Google. So update SID. So let me go with the Google. Update query in SQL. So here it is having update table name. Okay, so now I'm going with the update table ID. So student ID. So let me copy this one. Paste. And so where, so condition is nothing but SID equals to 101. So this command won't work, right? So we need to update that command. So update SID set SID equals to 202. I'm giving 201 where SID equals to 101. So will that command works? So let us see. Might be we will get error, I think.
Sir, update table name, then set column,
Okay, sir. Update
table name. Whatever be the table name is there,
table name.
update table name,
Yes, sir.
then set
Set.
column is
Okay.
equal to, set column is equal to value and
Column.
where condition.
Is that correct, sir? So
Yes.
update table name. Set a column.
Column is whatever be the column name. In our table, column name is
SID.
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 Yeah.
So is that correct, sir?
where SID is equal to 101.
Yes. So we will execute this one. So it's not getting, sir, column SID. We will execute the same one. So we will execute the same one here. So condition. So we will update the same name here. So update the table name. So what the table name is, so we are having student. Set column 1 equals to value 2, where SID equals to 101.
Sir, column name is, don't give column 1 like that. Column means.
Yes, sir, I have given. So might be this will work now.
What is the column name? Here you have given column name.
SID, sir. Column name is SID. Yes.
SID, yes. Set SID is equal to 201, where SID is equal to 101.
Yes, sir.
You should not give brackets, I think.
Remove braces, sir.
Brackets are optional, sir. Brackets need not to be used. Set
Shall
to
I
new
execute this one?
value and where old value. Where column is equal to old value.
Okay, shall I execute this one, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Once update is it. Yes, sir. Comma is not there. SID is equal to 201. Comma is not there.
Okay. So update student set ID equals to 201, where SID
Where SID
equals
is
to
equal to 101. Yes, sir. This can be executed.
So Control C. Yes. So it's done. Thank you, ma'am. So now
Yes, sir.
select
Thank you, sir.
star from student. Yes, it's updated. So in the same way, you can do with the remaining options also. So remaining options are so updation, modification, drop, and delete. You can do that also. So any more queries regarding this one?